Should cheating be the end of a marriage?
Right. I'm still in Dallas. She's still at home, and I miss my wife. Should cheating be the end of a marriage, baby?
That's an interesting question.
It is. It
And
is.
for this question, I can't give a definite yes or no because I believe that we all have different limits, right? So for me, I feel like cheating should not be the end of a marriage, but it can be the end of a marriage. Because it can get to the point where you get pushed to the wall. Okay, we're talking about people, there are people in marriages that with serial cheaters. I can't tell someone like that cheating should not be the end of the marriage when they're like, this person keeps disrespecting me and I'm about to lose it. Okay. But if you have a scenario of, oh, this person cheated once, okay, and you choose, this is my thing with cheating, okay? When someone has cheated on you, the person who cheated needs to understand that the other person needs some time to get over it, okay? They need to practice some patience. Now, the other person, when you decide to forgive this person, you are not allowed, I'm sorry, to use this on their head. You can't go back in the past and keep digging up. It's like a wound. If you don't close that wound, it will never heal. So once you said, and it takes a lot of work because it's not easy. You have to heal. Once you heal and you say, I forgive you, I want to continue in this marriage, make sure you're strong enough not to go back in the past. Because then when you do that, you're not giving the other person a fair chance. So that's my answer.
All right. All right. Yeah, I agree with you, babe. I agree with you. My words are a little bit different, maybe harsher when it comes to these things. Here's the thing: do you, but there's no guarantee. Just know that when you're doing you, you're also taking a very big risk on a marriage you may care about.
You're right.
You know, as always, right and wrong, in my opinion, is not relevant. It's about consequences more so than anything else. There are
Yeah,
consequences for our behaviors.
that's
There are
right.
micro consequences. There are macro consequences. There are mega consequences. I would assume that a mega consequence is, oh, my marriage is over. It shouldn't be. Oh, well, buzzword. Trigger word. Shouldn't. Should and shouldn't. You're right. Maybe you shouldn't, but it is. It's the reality
Unfortunately.
for some people. And here's the caveat for all of this. Some people would actually tell you that no, it won't be over, but they actually don't know how they will feel if they're on the receiving end of an unfaithful spouse.
Right. Right. That's why you can't give it depends on everybody's situation is different. You
Right.
can't judge
So
people.
they don't even know how they will react. That's why I tell people, like, humans by default we're not honest. Some people will say, but we're not honest. You say we're not honest, but we're not intentionally being dishonest. You're right. What I'm saying is that we're not putting the honest front up front 100% of the time, because we
Yeah.
always put up a presentation. You know,
Mhm.
if you think this is how pretty my wife can get when she takes off everything, you're wrong. She gets prettier, but she won't show it to you.
That's just for you alone. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, that's intentional. Is that being dishonest? You decide. But my point there is that we all put up a front.
Right.
In addition to putting up a front, a lot of time we don't know that we're putting up a front. It's just a natural thing to do because we want to put up our best.
Our best. Yes.
You know,
Absolutely.
So, of course, a woman who is maybe in a little bit of a pick me mode may say, of course, babe, no, cheating will never make this marriage over. But she actually doesn't know how she will feel if she get hit
Okay.
with that reality.
That's
And
right.
vice versa, too. And even on the man's side, well, most men would say, I will never accept it. A lot of them, if it's a situation that is not serial cheating, a
Right.
lot of them will hold on to the family structure and will protect the family structure,
Yes.
even if the wife cheated. Yes, they will just not come out and admit to being a simp
Yes.
for the same reason, because they are putting up a front. You know, so these are the realities. The realities are not the fact, quote unquote fact. The reality is what plays out in a lot of people's life, in real life, when children are involved, when there's vested interest, when their own ego is involved, when their emotions are involved. Those are the reality. Those reality are not yet recorded as data yet. They may never be recorded as data anywhere, because somebody is not going to say the real life, what they, Yoruba people say, in Koton Romasho, you don't know what people are
You
going
don't know
through.
what. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
What people are running their mouth online is data, 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 but you don't know what people are going through.
You don't
There
know
are
what things
secrets that will be buried for life that you
people
will
have.
never find out.
They have stuff in their closet. Okay.
Yes. So, and that could be you. You may say never be you. Again, you're being
Never say never.
not intentionally being dishonest, because human beings would do anything to protect their ego, or a woman would do anything if she's caught up in her feelings. A lot of men would do anything when they're caught up in their feelings. They just will call it fact over feeling, which is BS for the most part. We all have emotions, all of us. How we express it is we're trying to justify with BS nonsense. But the reality is that if you don't face this reality, you can avoid reality all you want, but you cannot avoid the consequences of avoiding reality. You're building a massive blind spot for yourself. So for me to answer the question, should cheating be the end of a marriage? The word should is a trigger word for me. It's not reality ever. You're right, it shouldn't. It should be duty, you should protect. But there's no guarantee that someone is not going to get caught up in their feeling and and destroy everything that even they care about, because they're upset. Right? So just know that the reality is that you're taking a big risk when you do go that route. Should it be the end of marriage? You're right, it shouldn't. If people can find their way back to each other and it was a one-off, it's not a situation of a serial cheater, because that's straight up abuse, and I would never encourage
That
abuse,
is.
right?
Yes.
If it's a situation where somebody was caught up in a weak moment, you're right, it shouldn't, but there's no guarantee. So avoid it at all costs, but understand that it's possible that people can reconcile. There is room for reconciliation, there's room for redemption. A lot of people do that.
They do.
They may just not come out and tell you. So don't hurt yourself with all these absolute ideologies, because they don't work when it comes to romance in real life.
They don't.
Yeah, anything else you wanted to add on to that, babe?